Paulina,
And I'm Mike.
and our channel is called Off Grid Hawaii. We just have a YouTube channel and kind of an Instagram page, but we don't really use Instagram that much anymore. And we are living here on the Big Island off grid since 2016. And the reason is to escape the matrix, I would say, and grow food.
Yeah, I guess we like the idea of not having so many bills, and this lifestyle allows us to do so. We collect water, and we make electricity with the sun, and don't have a rent. So the main reason that we wanted to move here and stuff was to plant a food forest. And when we first started, we knew absolutely nothing about it. And being here on the Big Island in an area that doesn't have soil, there's a lot of different challenges. Like, the first thing I did was buy like a shovel, and you can't dig here because it's all rock. Then each hole for a tree took like an hour. We did so much work, and it was always kind of like the wrong way to do things. And we found a place that was teaching classes on permaculture. And so our first year was kind of like everything was messed up because we didn't know what we were doing. Then the second year came along. We learned kind of the right way to do things. And then that year got better. And then just the progression year to year has gotten so much better with our understanding of how trees grow and how to plant them.
When we first came, we would come like for a few months at a time, and we wanted to save money and not rent out an Airbnb or anything, so we would just stay on the land. We were just basically camping, and we just had a carport, and we had 2 pallets and an air mattress on top where we slept, and we got a picnic table, so we just had that and a little like gas stove thing, like a camping stove. And we just slept there for like a month and woke up and did work on the land, like clearing stuff and planting stuff. But it was pretty much middle of the rainy season, so we were just like under this carport, like wet constantly. And it was rough. It was definitely a test to like our desire to want to really be here, and we pulled through.
But each year we kind of just improved the property and built new structures to keep us dry. And
the first things we did, which were like completely not good, was to just like take out rocks and then put the tree in the hole and use the soil that was around the property, because there was like a little bit of soil, maybe like an inch. We just like collected it and then used that, but that is definitely not the best for a tree.
Yeah, the soil here is just like kind of organic, really well broken down compost, and it's so muddy that there's no air in the soil. So actually even taking out those rocks probably did more damage, that you have just like a slop of mud. There was a pile of dirt here from the previous owner, and that probably came from Hamakua. There's more actual like soil with sand, silt, and clay. And mixing that into the soils, we kind of like came back and we noticed like, oh, this tree's doing much better than that one. And then kind of trying to remember, how did we plant this one? Because we didn't keep track of anything. So we're kind of lucky on this property, as the previous owner ripped it, which is when you break up the lava and everything. So when you dig, there's pretty much just boulders all over the place. So instead of digging as deep as we used to, we dig about halfway now and then mound up soil with we do buy soil from Hamakua and mix that with cinder, and it's a much better medium for roots to grow. And having things up a little higher helps with when it's really wet here, so the roots don't like sit in the water. So, I mean, just that alone probably solved a lot of our problems. But then, fertilizing the trees. It's good to start small and make sure you're doing the right thing before you go big, But we have a lemon tree we planted less than 2 years ago, It has tons of fruit on it right now. It's about 6 feet tall. Like we planted it, what was it, 2 feet?
Mhm.
It's incredible how much it grew, and we planted it on our wedding day. And I don't know, like we put so much like intentional love into it with everybody that was here. It sounds crazy. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. I also like mixed up the best soil that I possibly could. We also put like I don't know if you heard of Johnson Shoe bioreactor. I built one right next to it, and
We
it
gave
kind
it
of fed
everything.
it for a whole year. I'm really surprised at how well it's grown, how big it's gotten. But
Yeah.
just an example of like if you plant things right, it's much better than if you don't.
Right. I mean, obviously.
So now, kind of going back, redesigning the whole place, and not doing it all at once, just like kind of see something and then do like an installation of something small just to see how it does. Don't want to do too much work and it be the wrong thing. Just like kind of do something small, make sure it works, and then do more of that. Working a lot with lines now to make the management a lot easier.
Yeah, so we kind of went from kind of like random chaotic tree placements and tried to transform it with the trees already there into more like an orchard style, because it turns out that that's like the easiest way to maintain an orchard is like planting them in some sort of order,
Organized.
organized. Yeah. So another big kind of like investment into the management was making it more accessible and making paths that are easily mowable.
Yeah.
Because before that, there was so much uneven ground that it was hard to like walk around, and we would like not really walk around much because it was so like hard and difficult. So there would be trees that we like barely looked at because we didn't like walking around there. But now that everything's like more accessible, we're able to like take daily walks all over and like bring a stroller around all over and like really see what's going on with the trees.
Just watching videos. YouTube has been such a help for us to learn. That's why like we like to do YouTube, kind of to teach what we've learned. We'll take, and I encourage people not to just watch our channel. Watch everything you could, and then make up your own mind. Put it into context for your area. Like what's going to work, because what we talk about may not work in every area, especially like anywhere that's not Big Island. The only thing we have, which is also a really good way to build fertility, is chickens. We don't have that many. We only have 3.
We had a lot more.
We had a lot more. I do want to get more in the future, but having like somewhere for the chickens to just like make compost, and we use their manure. They do provide some eggs, some
We
food,
have 2
but
hens and 1 rooster right now, which is not a lot, but it's enough to keep it like really easy to manage and not overwhelm ourselves. And they're still doing their job. It's good for people to get out into their land and their property if they have yard or garden, like whatever size it is, and just like really get to know it and like build a relationship and like start not knowing what you're doing, because we started not knowing what we're doing, and that eventually inspired us to learn more so we could do things right. So like even if you don't know what you're doing, just start with something, and then over time you'll learn and the land will teach you, and then you'll learn from other people and things will progress.